This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. The Caribbean is at high risk of seeing a reemergence of vaccine-preventable diseases due to a disruption in immunization caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. This much coming from Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne, during PAHO's weekly press briefing this morning.
The region of the Americas, we have faced numerous public health emergencies. And our expanded program on immunization, which we refer to as EPI in the Americas, has reported additional setbacks in our routine vaccination and surveillance performance, reaching a 10% decline in diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, which is our DTP3, which Dr. Barbosa referred to, over the coverage for that vaccine in the last 10 years. Let's say that despite the tremendous achievements of our immunization programs in past decades, that progress has stalled. In some countries, even reversed in this region. And that places our achievements at risk.
Dr. Etienne mentioned that PAHO has seen measles circulating in some countries years after it had been eliminated. PAHO's Regional Technical Advisory Group has also alerted that based on their assessment of polio vaccines, the region is at risk of seeing a reemergence of polio.
I think this is serious. Our health ministers have set out a strategic framework for revitalizing immunization programs in the region of the Americas. And PAHO is working with them on this urgently. Reinvigorating countries' routine family immunization programs is among one of our highest priorities. You've heard it over and over again that immunization is among the most cost-effective public health strategies that is available. And beyond its immediate health benefits, it does provide a high rate of return on investment for the entire community.
Dr. Etienne does acknowledge that the COVID-19 pandemic has redirected many resources to emergency response operations. However, she notes that it is urgent for countries to look at their routine immunization programs. Former Cabinet Minister and Member of Parliament for Bambootown, Renwood Wells, is making news yet again with his somewhat controversial views on the country's political future. The outspoken Wells has a long-standing history of campaigning the transition of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas from a parliamentary constitutional monarchy to a democratic republic. Wells says he is resolute in his belief that transitioning to a state of republic self-governance is indeed the country's next step in true independence.
As folks would long know, that a part of my whole political career, I have espoused the view that the Bahamas should become a republic. And I do believe that it is a part of the next step in our evolution to real, true independence. A part of that also has to do with economic empowerment of the Bahamian people. I think both the PLP and the FNM would have spoken to that those are the next steps in our evolution to independence. And so I believe if the Lord should allow, and the Free National Movement has the opportunity, or when the Lord allows for the Free National Movement to have the opportunity, that's going to be something that I'm going to be pushing for in the platform of the Free National Movement, that we truly move the Bahamas, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, to an independence.
Wells says he feels the Bahamas and other decolonized Caribbean nations should follow the example set by Bajan Prime Minister Mia Mottley by disassociating the country from the crown and becoming a truly independent, self-sufficient republic. He also notes that this is a decision that must involve all Bahamians from every level of society, and to better educate Bahamians on the purpose, process, and benefits of such a change, there needs to be a greater national conversation on the matter.
I think that the fact that Bahamians would have seen Barbados move in that direction, there was a whole lot of conversations generated around the fact that Mia Mottley would have done so, and Bahamians then became that much more interested in the whole concept, the whole idea. And I think that as we began to see more Commonwealth nations move to becoming a republic, we're going to have much, much more of that conversation. But doing what you're doing now helps to spur on that discussion. That is to speak to politicians and to ask them their positions on such, to be able to get their views as to where the Bahamas ought to be going. And I do know, and I do believe, I accept that is where the country ought to be going at this point in time.
Though he doesn't currently hold an official post in government, Wells is adamant that if ever given the opportunity, he will pursue the introduction and passing of necessary legislation to see this vision become a reality. In October 2021, while at the South Beach polls, both Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Boleg and Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works and the Member of Parliament for South Beach, Bacchus Roll, agreed that the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marines stationed at the South Beach pools should have their own facility or watchtower on southern New Providence to monitor any illegal activities like drugs, guns, and human smuggling. Until recently, the RBDF officers had displaced the staff at the pools using the office facing the sea. Both the RBDS Commodore Dr. Raymond King and Minister of National Security Wayne Munro were asked about this situation. Most recent, Mr. Munro says it simply boils down to funding to be able to build the RBDF its own facility at South Beach.
Commodore will certainly tell you, if we get every budgetary allowance we ask for, that element, that advanced element of Commando Squadron will be rehoused in purpose-built facilities. Now the question is, with all of the other things we have to address, will we get that and when will we get that? It is my job as the Minister of National Security to lobby the government, my colleagues, and seek to defend and justify the expenditure that we're calling for from these agencies. And so the best that I can say, it's clearly an issue that's engaged across two ministries, and the government will have to come to a solution that is in the public interest, given public priorities.
The area MP, Mr. Roll, was pleased about the quick actions by the RBDF's relocation. As the Member of Parliament for South Beach, he has plans to revive the facility and increase its use by the public. Well, that does it for news this evening. Once again, I'm Leah Cooper, and from all of us here at JCN News, have a wonderful evening, everyone.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.